Hey guys, welcome back to another video with Lim Reviews. So today, I have two devices here for you to see. Okay, wait, let me fix that for you. Okay, so that's much better. On the left, I have the Honor 10 Lite. And on the right, we have the Huawei Y9 2019 edition. And both these devices are going for the same price of about $200 US. So let's see which is the better device in terms of best phone for your money. Before we begin the comparison, let's take a quick look at the specs for both these devices. Again, these devices cost the same, use the same processor, and have the same amount of RAM with internal memory. The most obvious difference between both devices is that the Huawei Y9 has a bigger screen. It also has a better camera with more megapixels and a wider aperture. Other areas where the Y9 also has an advantage is the presence of a dual lens selfie camera, and more importantly, a way bigger battery. So, on paper, the Y9 already seems like the better buy, but is that it? Let's find out. Okay guys, so first things first, I want to talk about the design and build quality of both devices. As you can see, design is truly a matter of personal preference. On the left, we can see that the Honor 10 Lite is slightly smaller and has a slimmer profile. The Huawei Y9 is slightly thicker and also slightly larger. Moving on to the back, we see that both devices has AI camera and a fingerprint scanner. At the bottom, you can see that both the Honor 10 Lite and Huawei Y9 still use the traditional micro USB port. What's neat though is both devices managed to keep the headphone jack here, so that's pretty cool. Last but not least, both devices use a single bottom firing speaker. Onto the front, here we get to see the larger 6.5-inch display of the Huawei Y9 side by side with the Honor 10 Lite. Just to be clear, the Huawei Y9 is the one with the blue wallpaper. With a dual sensor selfie camera, this also results in a wider notch on the Huawei Y9 as compared to the tiny notch on the Honor 10 Lite. Both notches can be hidden in settings. In case you're wondering, both devices come with their respective notification LEDs. The Honor 10 Lite has its LED at the bottom, whereas the Huawei Y9 has its LED at the top. Build quality wise, both devices are made really well. Although the Honor 10 Lite and Huawei Y9 are made using plastics all around, this includes the side and back, they feel okay to the touch and I don't have any real complaints here. At this price, I would say that build quality has passed my expectations. Next, let's compare the displays on the Honor 10 Lite and the Huawei Y9. Both displays are similar in terms of brightness and color accuracy. Viewing angles are slightly better on the Y9, but it is to the point where they are almost identical. Using both devices under the strong sun may be a slight issue to some, but as I use my phone mostly indoors, this didn't bother me too much. Of course, the Y9 has a bigger display and this is especially useful when watching videos or playing games. As such, the Huawei Y9 is my choice for display if I had to choose one over the other. Moving on, let's talk about performance. As both the Honor 10 Lite and Huawei Y9 basically have the same processor and RAM configuration, it is no surprise that they perform similarly in terms of daily use. Using both devices in real life, I honestly find that there is no difference in terms of speed and fluidity. They both launch apps very quickly, and there is not much lags when using both devices. Having said so, I know how much you guys love benchmark scores, so here it is for you. As you can see, both devices scored very identical results, but somehow it appears that the Honor 10 Lite has the slight advantage. Since we are touching on the topic of performance, let's check out gaming on both these devices. Game loading times are a little slow on both as to be expected, but gaming wise, if you set game settings to high, both the 10 Lite and Y9 will not be able to run smoothly. So using PUBG as a benchmark for gaming, if you set the game graphics to medium in settings, both the 10 Lite and Y9 will run smooth enough for you to enjoy the game. Overall, these devices are not super high performance smartphones made for gaming, but they are both good enough to handle games in medium graphic settings. Thus, in terms of performance and gaming, both the 10 Lite and Y9 are at a tie here. Moving on, I want to talk about the sound quality of the speakers from both these devices. They are both single firing speakers, but first, here is a sample for you to check out. There you have it. So based on hearing both devices here in person, I would say that the Huawei Y9 just slightly edges the Honor 10 Lite in terms of sound clarity. Before we move on to talk about the cameras, let's talk about the batteries on both the Honor 10 Lite and Huawei Y9 really quickly. Due to the massive difference in battery life between both devices, the Y9 is able to last me almost till late night on days with heavy use. On the other hand, the lesser 10 Lite is only able to last me until evening before I have to start charging the device. Again, both devices are using the ancient micro USB cable for charging, so charging is really slow just like on iPhone devices. At the end of the day, because the Y9 has the bigger battery, so the obvious win here goes to the Huawei Y9 for better battery life. Finally, let's talk about the cameras on the Honor 10 Lite and Huawei Y9. To quickly recap, the 10 Lite has a 13+2 megapixel sensor, whereas the Y9 has a 16+2 megapixel sensor with wider aperture. However, let's see how the sensors both perform in real life by checking out some sample pictures. Note that I use auto mode with AI turned off for all images taken to keep the comparison fair. As usual, let's start off with some daylight photos. Both the Honor 10 Lite and Huawei Y9 take some pretty decent shots in broad daylight. However, I will leave it to you guys to decide which you actually prefer. In terms of portrait mode, here I personally think that the Huawei Y9 does a better job at distinguishing the subject from the background. Notice that the right arm of my body here is clearly separated from the background in both these portrait images. Moving on to low light images again, the results are pretty identical and I will leave it to you to choose your preference. As you can see, although the room is very dark, both sensors are still able to draw in enough light to capture the subjects clearly. There is some noise in the background of these images taken, but overall, I think the results are pretty good. Last but not least, here's a selfie comparison. I must say I am pretty impressed with the Honor 10 Lite's ability to do nice portrait selfies on just a single sensor. Alright, there you have it guys. That basically sums up the comparison between the Honor 10 Lite and Huawei Y9. So both devices provide extremely great value for money, but we can only choose one winner here. At the end of the day, the Huawei Y9 is able to do everything that the Honor 10 Lite can plus more. To sum it up, the Huawei Y9 has similar processing power and camera capabilities as the Honor 10 Lite, but it comes with a bigger screen, larger battery, and slightly better speakers. Okay guys, that's it for this video. If you like this, please like and subscribe, and as always, I'll be bringing you more videos, so see you guys in the next one. Bye!